Drafting in fantasy hockey is actually quite easy once you know the strategies to use. This video, I will talk about how to draft a contending team league. There are typically 12 rounds in a draft unless you choose to play in a custom league. The more teams there are, the more rounds there are. So this is a round by round breakdown of a standard fantasy hockey league. Drafting in this fantasy hockey league, that's standard. First round is the most important round in fantasy hockey because this is where you get your quote unquote go-to guy. When picking a player in the first round, you want to make sure you get the best player available on the board. You have to make sure that this player is reliable and he will produce for sure. It can't be a gamble pick. The second round is where you need to draft an elite goalie. I would pick the best available elite goalie, whoever's the top one on the rank board to you. The third round, pick a breakout star that has the potential to make the jump from a great player to a superstar. Like McKinnon, Kucherov, Kuznetsov, players like that. The fourth round, pick a reliable goal scorer. Examples are Philip Forsberg, Max Pacioretty, players like that. The fifth round, pick a power play specialist that gets a lot of assists and a lot of power play points, like Johnny Gaudreau or Nicholas Backstrom. Players along those lines. The sixth round, I would pick another goaltender that's also very reliable. So now you have two reliable goaltenders. Goaltenders like Roberto Luongo, John Gibson, Martin Jones. Seventh round, draft a number one defenseman that plays on a bad team, but also has very high potential. Players like Aaron Ekblad, Tyson Barrie, and Justin Faulk. Well, Ekblad doesn't play for a bad team, but he's going to be ranked low because he doesn't get that many power play points compared to other defensemen. Eighth round, I would actually draft another goaltender to ensure you have stable goaltending. Goaltenders that you could consider drafting are Matt Murray, Frederik Andersen, and Thomas Greiss. Ninth round, pick another defenseman. Defensemen like Torrey Krug, Dougie Hamilton, or Nick Leddy. These defensemen will play in power play situations. They will be go-to defensemen for their team in the near future. The 10th round, get a player that's established and has a proven track record, like Hartnell, Mark Stone, Bobby Ryan, players like that. 11th round, draft a defenseman that has potential for a breakout year. Players like Shane Gostisbehere, Seth Rasmus Ristolainen, and Hampus Lindholm. 12th round, draft a player that you know is in a position to succeed and put up solid numbers. Players like Mats Zuccarello, Jaromir Jagr, Alex Galchenyuk, as those players will be playing on the top lines of their respective teams. The 13th round, pick a player that has high potential. Players like Jonathan Drouin, Max Domi, David Pastrnak. 14th round, pick a defenseman that puts up solid stats It doesn't have to be very high offensive numbers, but you need to get a defenseman that has a good plus minus to balance out the defenseman you picked in the 7th round. Because if you pick the defenseman in the 7th round that has a bad plus minus, you need a defenseman that has a good plus minus to balance it out, especially if you're in a head-to-head league. Defensemen like Marc-Edouard Vlasic, Anton Strawman, and Alex Goligoski. Finally, in the 15th and 16th round, I would just pick the best available player to you left on the board. The last advice I would say is pre-rank your players before the draft. If you pre-rank your players before the draft, then you will have a better sense of what players you want to draft during the draft. And if anything happens to your computer or the draft, you lose connection, whatever happens during the draft, you lose connection. The computer, the CPU is going to draft the players from your draft list, not the pre-ranking from whatever system you play on. So always pre-rank. Next episode, I'm going to be talking about giving suggestions for beginners in fantasy hockey.